finally got Starlink. I've been waiting since last February. It's June of 2022 now, so long wait, and I was getting a little aggravated, especially being on Viasat. Even Viasat was down for a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago. So I'm very happy to be able to call them up probably on Monday and give them the middle finger and tell them where they could shove their service. So yeah, got the new square dishy, obviously. I was able to order the Ethernet adapter at the same time, so I guess that is no longer back ordered. But I've got a little bit of a complicated setup here. I've got a lot of trees back around my house, and so obviously trees and dishy don't work together very well. The setup I have right now, I actually have 0 obstructions. I checked this morning when I woke up, and again just a few minutes ago, and I've had 0 outages. I guess they got that firmware update that was causing a lot of outages fixed. And then between that and 0 obstructions, service has been great. I had a Zoom call earlier today. No problems with that. It was like crystal clear. I've talked on the phone with it. I don't have cell service down here, so I use Wi-Fi calling, and Wi-Fi calling is usually like really hit or miss on Viasat, and it's been like crystal clear now. It's like I'm a little too excited about it. But anyway, I'm up here like 20 feet off the ground right now, and I wanted to kind of show how I've set everything up. So I'm already up here, and I guess I'll start from the top. You can see dishy right here. I've got a piece of like chain link fence, top link. It's like a $20 piece of 1 3/8" tubing. So I made 4 cuts in it with a hacksaw, and then used a pipe clamp, like a stainless steel pipe clamp, to actually attach dishy. It just slides down in there. If I wanted to, I could have run the dishy cable actually through the pipe, but I'll show you in a minute why I didn't. But it's pretty stable. Like I'm shaking everything pretty good, and it's not going anywhere. If you see all these wires everywhere, that's my attempt at lightning protection. I don't know how effective it would actually be, but it's probably better than nothing. Obviously, if the dish itself actually gets struck, everything's just going to be fried. But if one of these nearby trees gets hit, this might take some stray current and direct it to ground. So I've got, I think it's a 8-gauge wire that goes all the way down to a ground post driven into the ground. And I've got the dish slid down. Actually, I've got 4 of them up near the dish and 4 of them on the top of the post. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. So then I've got a little over 10 feet. It's actually, I think, maybe 15 feet of this top post or top rail, and then that is attached to a 6x6. And I use these. I think these are actually for hanging conduit. It's actually bolted through. You can see right there. It's actually bolted through the 6x6, and then it clamps down onto the tubing. So that travels all the way down. And the nice thing is here, there's some adjustment in the height of dishy. If I needed to go like quite a bit higher, I could raise it up a little bit. It does start getting a little, start swaying a little more than I would like. I don't think I would have too much of an issue, but there is the possibility if there were some gusts that were just the right interval that it might kind of get in that harmonic motion. So you could always go up to like 2-inch and use 2-inch pipe nested together to get more height. But the 6x6 is reasonably stiff. I'm standing on it, and let's see, like you can make it sway. But again, you kind of have to get like some harmonic motion to it. I'm kind of leaning back on it, and it's really not bent at all. Pretty stiff. So this to the top of the 6x6 is 20 feet. All right, so dishy is up. It's pretty easy to put up. I think this top rail and dishy, I think dishy's 9 pounds. This top rail's probably somewhere around 10 pounds. So, you know, you're lifting, I don't know, maybe 25 with all the other stuff on it. Maybe 25 pounds. Just slide it up with these clamps, and then just tighten the clamp down, and it works pretty well. As you slide it up, obviously it's powered on right now, so as you slide it up, you hear the motor inside of it turning dishy to make sure it's pointing the right way, and now we'll head on further down. So I'm about halfway down the pole now, and the first thing you'll probably see are the pole steps, and I decided to go that direction because I first put a ladder up to start working on it, and it just felt really uncomfortable. Just didn't feel safe. Obviously, like, you can't clip in if you're on a ladder. If you fall, you're just kind of on your own. It's not really that high, but like 20 feet, you might break your pelvis or something, maybe an arm or wrist. So I put the pole steps up, and I actually drew a quick free body diagram up, and it turned out that there's less stress on the pole hanging off of it than using a ladder. So decided to go this route. It wasn't that expensive. But down here, I've got some 1-inch conduit and a weatherhead on it. And then I've got my dishy cable that runs up there. I've got that ground cable that's coming on down here. And then I've got some Cat 5e, and I have 2 runs of it. They're terminated, and then I've just got the terminations running back into that weatherhead. And I'm not planning on using them right now. I may end up putting an outdoor access point or maybe a PoE camera. But I've got that, here in case I need it. I've got drip loops coming off the weatherhead, and then I've got, some extra wire in case I need to move things around. All right, so now I'm back on the ground, and I've got that 1-inch conduit, and it just keeps on coming down here and goes into the ground. And it runs right underground, right over to this 4x4 post over here. And I've got a weather-tight box. So you can see the tractor sitting there. It's a little 25 horsepower John Deere. And I actually used the tractor with a, I can't remember what this is called, middle buster or something, with a piece of conduit on the back of it, which is moved now. But I used that to literally trench all of my lines in. And actually, with the conduit, I ended up taping the conduit to the end of the middle buster and pulling the conduit through the ground. It worked really well. It broke the ground up a little bit, but and I didn't run it very deep. But I mean, you can tell, but it really didn't disturb too much. I've still got this ground wire that I ran that I need to bury, but I'll just bury that right into the surface. So I've got it running to this little box right here, and let's see, let me get that box opened up. So inside the box over here, and it's about 20 or 25 feet away from the pole, I've got a whole bunch of wire. I've got the modem for dishy, and if you don't know, dishy uses power over Ethernet, so it has to be pretty close by. I'm using the 75-foot cable that came with it, and you can see the Ethernet adapter right there. I've got extra loops of wire just in case I need to pull anything out and work on it. It is really tight in that box. This is a 12 by 8 by 8 box. I bought it on eBay. There's the brand for you. It was like $60. Believe it or not, I also have a couple of outlets back there. It's hard to see. And a 4-port PoE switch. It's only fast Ethernet, but I'm not even using it right now, so it really doesn't matter. I am worried about this box getting hot, especially in the summertime. It is at least a light color, but obviously I've got 2 PoE appliances in here, and they're using quite a bit of power. So this box came with a little cover plate. I ended up cutting out very poorly, cutting out the cover plate and putting screen in, and so there is at the very least for that some at least passive ventilation. But then I didn't feel like that was going to be enough, and so I ended up stealing a fan out of an old computer, and you can see it right there. It's running. I used, I think, a 12-volt, an old router brick, and I ended up just soldering on a little connector right there. So you can definitely feel some air coming through there once this is closed up. Close up here. Yeah, so once this is closed up, it's watertight. There are no holes in it other than just in the bottom. And so hopefully that'll keep everything cool. I also added the sign. This bought it on Amazon. It was like $10. So whatever dumbass comes digging around here, they can't blame me. Or when I forget in like 3 years. Hopefully I'll remember. So from here, you can see the 1-inch conduit coming in the left. I've also got the ground that's going over to that ground rod over there. And then that connects inside the box, and everything is grounded, everything's bonded, most importantly. And then I've got data coming in with 2 Cat5e runs from the house. And then I've got 12-2, so 12 gauge, 2 conductor, underground feeder, direct burial cable coming in from the house. It's about maybe 100 feet of Cat5 and like 150 feet of the 12-2. So I did the same thing with the tractor. I trenched it in. It was pretty messy. It was kind of a pain, but it worked. It was a lot easier than hand trenching because I've done that before and it's a pain. So runs right over the house, all wired in. So that's my Starlink install. Hopefully it gives you some ideas for your own install. Overall, I think I spent around $500 on my setup. 3 days in with Starlink, I'm really happy so far. There have been some minor network issues and other small things, but overall, it's just so much better than what I had. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll try to upload some more videos in the future.